There's a Washington State judge right now is facing calls for his resignation, and rightfully so, after he was recorded on video making mockery of a death of a young brother that the race soldiers shot down. Now, this particular brother, he was, doing some things he shouldn't have. He was selling Xanax. He was selling about 50 pills of that. But, I'm like, these pharmaceutical companies sell pills all day long. But, certain people can sell pills and others can't, right? But what ended up happening that he was basically set up with about a confidential informant at the time period. And with this particular buy, he saw the cops. He decided to take off running. They claimed he had a gun on him. He didn't fire the gun at nobody at all. They ended up shooting 34 times at this brother, and 4 of the bullets hit him. Now, I want you to hear what the judge is saying when he thought that, no cameras was on or anything like that. I want you to hear exactly his sentiments and why I've said many times before that people like them should not be sitting in the judgment seat or a district attorney office doing cases over black people, because just about all of them have some sort of racial bias toward us. But let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Who's Kevin Peterson?
The black guy. They were trying to make an angel out of him. The one that was said, I'm going to feed bullets to the cops when I show up if there's cops there.
Which was this a local?
He's the Hazeldale one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's the one that said I'm a racist. I hate white people. So I guess he hates his girlfriend.
Was he the one that was shot by the police in Hazeldale?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Okay. Well, the cops are already back on the road. My son was there. Luckily, he got the promotion to sergeant because he could have been a shooter.
Oh my God.
And then they'd be marching out at his house with signs saying you're a murderer, all that bullshit. It's crazy. It is just crazy. Like his dad. I know so many people.
Yeah, you know everybody.
I probably know more people than the sheriff knows about this investigation. So I sent him the information. I find out about it. I ran into a chaplain who said he did the whatever you call it, the thing after the fact, consulting everybody, trying whatever about the deal. And he's told me that KP's dad says, well, yeah, if he had a gun, I guess it was justified. And the next day he wakes up with dollar signs in his eyes, and George Floyd attorneys had already contacted him. He does a GoFundMe page. He said, my unarmed son was murdered by the police. He knew his son had a gun. That makes me no one's going to do anything about that. That's not getting money into false pretenses. So he got $70,000 as opposed to George Floyd. And George Floyd was terrible. I get that. George Floyd family got $20 million. But I think he had a death wish, nothing or something. He calls his girlfriend to say goodbye.
Oh, wow.
And then she won't release her phone, so you really don't know what texts he was saying. But he was so dumb. So another version was he thought he was going to go to prison for life, for one deal, maybe a year, I don't know about that. Probably get diversion, probably get drug court. But anyway, he was calling goodbye, and then supposedly, then she comes out with this false narrative that, well, they shot him, 30 times in the back. He get shot once in the back, but unfortunately got shot.
Oh, God.
But you think they say if it's such a big racial deal, then you shouldn't give one of the officers who thought he was going to get killed himself shot him. And he was black, so it wouldn't have mattered if the guy was green. is the point. But it's just this narrative that there's like wholesale killing with minorities or something.
Gosh, yeah, every case.
Even that article, and I saw that lady, and I sent it to other people. I sent it to my son, the lady from the NAACP, and I was almost a lifetime member. My first job out of college was working in all the black community center. And that was funny. I said I was their token white guy. I was racist.
Good. It's good to feel what that feels like, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, I wasn't discriminated. I felt bad about it all. And I coached and counseled, did all kinds of stuff. But this lady, she talks about the blacks being murdered here in Clark County, allegedly armed, allegedly. Like, throw that stuff out there. You don't know the facts. It's not allegedly. He had a freaking gun and they got it on video. And you put this, distrust out there in the community. It's still the same thing. And they want to argue that because there's whatever, I think exactly, yes, there's 4% blacks in Clark County, but there's 12% blacks in the jail. So does that mean we're automatically racist?
Mm-hmm.
Does it?
Not necessarily. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't, because I did one the other day where 3 black guys shot and robbed this guy. They're going to take an inordinate amount of time in the Clark County jail.
yeah.
You know, they won't go to trial for a year or so.
Yeah.
They're going to be off to prison for, I assume, 6 or 7 years for robbery and shooting somebody. They pistol whip them too.
Mm-hmm.
They're a nice kid, put it that way. And he was a Spanish guy, so is that racist? I don't know.
I mean, the bottom line is every case is different. We have to look at the facts of every single case. But there's so much anger out there now.
Yeah,
I just feel like we're falling off a cliff.
Now, if you clearly heard, his racial white supremacist self making those comments, the court had made a, response to this, saying racial bias displayed by a judge is unacceptable, unethical, unjust, and cannot be tolerated. And they say denounce all forms of racism and will not allow racial bias to pervade our courtrooms. But it pervades your courtrooms every day. This is why a black person could commit a crime and they get 15 years and a Mzungu get 2. That's why. I mean, racism in the courtroom is all white juries. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all got racism every single day. Y'all trying to do racism right now in the Derek Chauvin trial. Y'all trying to make sure to get this man off. Y'all gave George Floyd family $27 million. Say, okay, good. That's good enough. Now let's get this race soldier back to his house. And maybe even give him his job back if he's lucky. Now, I know y'all game. Y'all give the settlement money and then the race soldier usually go home. That's usually how it goes. Unless, you are a black police officer like Muhammad Noor, then, you're going to go to jail for 12 years, But continuing with this particular story, this guy, his name is Judge Zimmerman. I know it's like crazy. His name is Zimmerman. Whoo. Now, they said Judge Zimmerman's conduct, say, erodes the public's confidence in our judicial system. Black folks don't have no confidence in your judicial system at all because we have been the brunt of your systemic racism in the courtroom. Your courtrooms have a lot of anti-black sentiments. We can't really get fairly judged, in my opinion, unless we have, people that look like us. If y'all are serious talking about, we want to get rid of systemic racism. Okay, well, make sure the juries are 50% of whatever race the defendant is. So if the defendant is black, you need 50% of the jury to be black. If they white, same thing, Asian, whatever. Make sure the jury is 50% of their people group. After that, you can put whoever you want to put on there. Get more black judges. Get more black DAs. That's what you can do if you're really serious about the situation, because you overran with Mzungus. You put some black folks up there. But this is how they be talking, ladies and gentlemen, about us in situations like that. There's no reason for that judge to even talk that way. But you see the conversation they're having, and you see his accomplice, the Mzungu female. She wasn't saying, hey, judge, that isn't right. That's racist. No, she's like, yeah, I get it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They both in on it. So that's why I said, both of them are 2 peas in a pod. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation with this judge. This is why, black folks get the sentences that they receive. In my opinion, they don't have a right to even be judging black folks, all the things they done to black people in history and even up to today.